Hello, this is Ian with DC Digital, and today we're going to be showcasing our DC-25N-W-Master Atomic Digital Time of Day Master Secondary Network Clock. So what the customer aims to accomplish by utilizing this product is to display the time of day via the network from two separate locations thanks to our master and secondary clocks. So how it works is the client connects the Ethernet cable into the master clock to gather data from the internet, and from there it will display the time of day from both the master into the secondary enclosure. So now I'm going to showcase the functions of this unit and how it is all put together. So as you can see, we have our master clock and our secondary clock that are displaying the time of day, and the secondary clock is dependent off of the master. So whatever is displaying on the master will be displayed there on the secondary. So now I'm going to open up our web page that allows us to configure and showcase the information regarding the network and how it showcases the time of day. The client just simply needs the MAC address, but for this demonstration we are using a NetBurner IP setup program. So I'm just going to launch the web page, and as you can see, we are currently in the web page. In particular, we're on the home page, and from here we can see we have an overview of everything that needs to be known about the clock. So in other words, we have our product information, which showcases the model of our unit. We have the serial number of it. We have the time on display, which showcases the time of day. We have the NTP server information, such as the NTP server address and when it was last synchronized, the date for that. And we have our last synchronization attempt, which showcases whether if it was a success or a failure. We have the synchronized interval, which is set for 1 minute. That is set by default. It will synchronize every 1 minute. And as you can see, we have the network configuration, the device name, the MAC address for this unit, the IP address, the device subnet mask, and the gateway IP address, along with the DNS IP address as well. And we also have our time information, which showcases the hour format, which is currently in 12 hours. It can display the time of day in a 12 to 24 hour format. And we also have current time zone, which is Eastern Daylight Time, and the current local offset, which is at -4. We do have a temperature information section right here, but we do not have it activated because that's not what the client wants. The client just wants to display the time of day, and it doesn't want the temperature displaying as well. So as you can see, the clocks are sent out to a DHCP and will be leased on the IP address within their network range. So now I'm going to showcase the configuration settings tab right here. I'm just going to click on that. And from there, it's going to ask us for our username and password, and we always have it set to username in all lowercases, and password, which is the same thing, lowercase, which is password in all lowercases, I should say. We hit enter, and as you can see, we are now in the configuration settings. And so we're in the configuration settings right now, and as you can see, under NTP server settings, we have the NTP server address, which is basically where the clocks query the correct time from. And you can see right here at the bottom of NTP server address that it updates 1 minute per interval. As you can see, it can update from 1 to 1800. We also have the time settings, which allows us to switch from 12 to 24 hour format and switch to a different time zone. If we click right here, a whole list of time zones to select from, such as Central US DST, Mountain US DST, and Pacific US DST. We also have the temperature settings right here that is inactive right now. Click right here on the 24 hours, click on change configuration, and as you can see, it is now displaying the time of day in a 24 hour format. So now instead of displaying 1:37, it's now displaying 13 hours and 38 minutes. So I'm going to click on the network settings, and from here this allows us to update our username and password. And as you can see, we have it set to as a username in all lowercase and password in all lowercase. And in the network configurations, we have the ability to name the device any other name other than DC Digital NTP 719D. We have the addressing mode, which is DHCP, which allows it to be leased to an IP address within the network's range. That's what which is what the DHCP is for. We have DHCP as well as static, and we can also manually enter the device IP address and the device subnet mask, along with the device gateway and the DNS server that the customer can configure. So one of the key features of this unit is that it has a store and forward method of transmitting information. So let me walk you through this. So information comes from the Ethernet cable, which is connected to a local or global server. So that data gets transferred into the master clock, and then that information gets transferred to the secondary clock via a 900 megahertz radio frequency, and that in turn allows it to store and forward that information to an infinite number of secondary clocks. And I want to showcase the IP cycle, so I'm just going to unplug the power from the master clock, and as you can see, the secondary clock is still continuing on. Going to plug it back in, and as you can see, as I plugged it back in, it's now displaying 12 o'clock. And in a little bit, you'll see the IP address on the master clock. It'll display that. After the IP address has been displayed on the master clock, transmit that data to the secondary clocks as well. Also, I should say that our default configuration is always on a DHCP server, and the NTP server time is always on the time.nist.gov, which is a global website that gathers the information for our time and whatnot. For our time settings, our hour format is always default to 12 hours, and our time zone is always set to Eastern US DST. And one last thing, the user is always able to gather their IP address via our IP setup. If you go to our website and type in IP setup on the search bar, on our search bar, scroll down all the way to here, you click on this little thing right here, which is IP setup. This is our free program that is used to locate our DC Digital network devices. You just click right on here, and that will grant you access to the NetBurner IP setup. And we always have the most recent version of the IP NetBurner. So quickly going over the hardware aspect of this model, as you can see, the enclosures are an aluminum with tough fingerprint resistant black powder coating. The display size is 2.3 inches that can be viewed up to a total of 120 feet away. The number of digits that the clocks have are 4 digits that displays the time of day in a 12 to 24 hour format. Its power type is a 120 to 240 VAC power wall adapter with a 6 feet cord for each of the clocks. For mounting, we have 4x4 or 2x4 electrical rough inbox slotted teardrop knockouts. And lastly, for accessories, we have the secondary enclosure, and the wireless data output from the master is 900 megahertz via radio from the master, which allows it to synchronize with the secondary clock. And the master unit obtains the information via our Ethernet cable, which connects it to the internet and pulls the data from the internet into the units. So again, this is Ian with DC Digital, demonstrating our DC-25N-W-Master Atomic Digital Time of Day Master Secondary Network Clock. Thanks for watching.